All right, for practice today, Frank Gore will be out with non-injury, just normal Thursday off. Crowder and Marcus May will both be limited, and that is it for the injury report. So whatever you guys got.
Adam, so Sam popped up on the injury report yesterday, even though he practiced all the way with an ankle. Just is that something he suffered in the game, and how serious is that?
Yeah, I think it was from the game. I mean, I'm sure he hasn't been feeling great body-wise, and I mean, he gets torqued quite a bit in his lower body. Well, guys, when they go to tackle him, they all drop to his legs and torque him. So, I think it's more precautionary for us that we put him on there just in case something flares up.
How tough a decision with Jordan putting him on IR? I know he was probably trying to battle through that the last few weeks.
I know. I mean, you can imagine what kind of pain he must be in and issues he's having for him to finally say, okay, it's probably the right move to do. He was trying to figure out a way to get back for these last few games. It's just his range of motion was just, I mean, I don't know how much he would have been able to do. He would have been playing with one arm.
With him, surgery?
Yeah, I mean, that looks like it's going to be a really good possibility.
Did you guys talk to him at all, Adam? Because I know this is the final year of his contract. Came back to you guys on a one-year deal, thinking about, play well, big money contract extension, and then to kind of deal with a season like this with the injuries and now potentially needing surgery, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it for a while. I mean, he's been – I mean, you've seen – there's been multiple times where he's coming off the field and you can see his arm hanging or some other body parts banged up. I mean, he's been fighting. I mean, he's been trying to do everything he can to help us. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is, though. I mean, that's the kind of player he is. That's the kind of person he is. I mean, puts him, puts everybody else in front of himself.
Adam, what do you expect and hope to see from Sam in the last 3 weeks here?
Really, it's just, play as clean as he possibly can. I know it's tough when we get behind because you start trying to make some plays. Just keep working on our decision-making and timing and getting the ball out. Just all those little things, just week in and week out, of just trying to find those little improvements, those little, steps to just when we come out of the game, we can say, all right, we can see we got better in this area. It just feels like it's like I've said before, it's got to be all of us. So, I mean, he can only do so much, and, he needs, everybody else has got to be on the same page with him.
Adam, we dissect a lot of things from Sam's game all the time, but, just mentioning the ankle and all the beatings he's taken. What has he shown you in these 2 years, toughness-wise, with all the shots he's taken?
Yeah, I mean, there's no lack of toughness. I know that much. I mean, just watching him come back in that Denver game alone, I mean, he wasn't coming out of that game. So, I mean, for him to come back in there and try to help us win that game, and then, coming back after that, and, it's hadn't been easy. I know last year, he didn't feel great all the time and battled through it, and he's as tough as they come. I mean, if anybody questions his toughness, I'd be shocked, because both players, coaches, anybody that watches him, other teams, they see that this guy he ain't afraid.
What's the thinking on bringing back Castillo to the practice squad? Now you have 3 kickers.
We're making sure we're good to go, Rich.
Is Ficken still progressing positively?
Yeah, he kicked yesterday. It was good. I mean, it was good to see him out there. It was good to get kind of, those guys back out there with their timing, with the O-line, D-line out there and the field goal block team. So, that's a good step for us.
Yeah, I was going to ask about Ficken and also LaMichael. You think there's a chance for either, both this week?
I think Ficken, there's a good chance. I think LaMichael will let him go through a full week's worth of practice. Because yesterday he did it was strength and conditioning and all that stuff, just like that one final, check the box that we had to do today, and we should get him out there today and start practicing. So, but I think we want him to go through a full week of actual game plan preparation. So hopefully we get him for the last 2 games.
All the talk yesterday, obviously, about Aaron Donald. I mean, Quinnen has been kind of compared to him. Is that fair, or what do you see from Quinnen?
I think it's different. I don't. That's hard to explain. I think it's real hard to compare anyone to Aaron Donald right now. I don't think it's fair to Quinnen in that aspect. I mean, Quinnen's a young player, and he has some moments where it's impressive. I think what makes Aaron Donald Aaron Donald is that consistency of, if you do not double team him, he is getting to the ball carrier or getting to the quarterback. It's that change of he changes the game so much. It's hard to explain. You have to watch it. When you watch this guy get double teamed almost every snap, and the 5 snaps he gets singled up, he wins. I'm sure every D tackle is trying to get to that point, especially guys that have similar skill sets of, length, quickness, strength, things like that. Hey, I want to be like that guy. It's taking that guy, Aaron Donald. He's worked hard to get to this point where he's this dominant. He was a good player when he came in the league, but he obviously has ascended to that elite status.
We'll take a few more for Coach.
Adam, does he move around a lot, or
They're doing a great job.
Everybody responsible for him, pretty much.
They're doing a great job of making it hard to locate him. He is not. It's not like you can say he's just here. He's always going to be in this spot, or he's always going to be this technique, or the right side or left side. D-tack. He is. They move him around a lot. He's hard to just focus and target on. They make it hard.
Adam, you mentioned Ramsey yesterday. I think when we were talking about Aaron Donald, what makes him special?
He's really good. It's just. He's his ability, his instincts alone. I haven't been around too many corners where I feel like it's just he has such a great feel for the game. He does a really good job as far as feeling the route, kind of feeling the receiver. He's stopping. He runs the route for the guy. He knows when to stay deep. He knows when, it's time to gamble. The way he transitions with routes is really impressive, and let alone his ball skills. You better not miss on him to where if he's driving on an out route and you miss just slightly inside, you're looking at it's going the other way. I always appreciated because, when we played him when he was at Jacksonville, of how well he knew their defense. He knew, like I said before, he knew all the holes. He knew what could hurt him, what couldn't hurt him. And you could tell it's just like he was playing like a chess game out there with the quarterback a little bit. And that's what made it scary going against him, because there was a little bit of a Richard Sherman type feel of kind of how he knew their defense.
What can Denzel learn from going up against a corner like that? Obviously, I don't expect him to beat him every play, but what can he learn just from experiencing that? It's
all for him. It was like when we played Miami and Xavier was on. Just to feel how when that guy presses, when it's man to man, how he puts his hands on you, how he jams you, whether it's, does he really try to grip you up? Is it one hand? Is he, just that all the movements that go into, hey, I'm running an in cut, I'm slipping inside. This is how it felt. You're getting to really get hands-on experience against elite guys. And now you know what it feels like different-wise when you go against that guy, and then you don't go against a player that's as good. as a player, you're kind of like, oh, that's a big difference when this guy jammed me compared to this guy. Or when I was running this route, this guy undercut me, but this guy stayed high because he felt my speed more. You know, like the elite corners, they don't panic. Like you beat them off the ball, they always find a way to get back in phase and they don't panic and they make it tough to make a catch or make a throw. Where, you know, guys that aren't as good as those guys panic and then you end up winning on the route and you make a big play. When you start to feel that non-panic by a corner as a wide receiver, like that's good to kind of go through that experience and understand the difference between the elite ones and just guys.
One more on Denzel is that when he was drafted, not necessarily from you guys, but a lot of people that study the draft and analyze the draft, they kind of compared him to somebody that, you know, was a really good Robin, as long as he was with a Batman, or, you know, has like elite level number 2 potential. Now that you've had him in your building, do you see him as a guy that can be the number 1 option on an offense?
It's hard for me to ever the whole 1 and 2. Like I know Julio Jones is the one. Like, you know, I'm no scientific rocket by any means, but you know, right now I like how he's ascending. I like where he's going. Each week he's getting better. I see him do something, whether it's practice or a game, where I'm like, man, he's getting this. And you get excited and you love being around him. You love coaching him. Like his energy level that he brings is unique in the aspect he's a young kid and things haven't gone great and he's been in and out of there a little bit. But man, when he gets on the practice field, when he plays on game day, like he is up. He loves being on the field. He loves talking football. He loves, hey, how do you guys want me to run this? What do you want me to do here? What if this guy does it? You know, he starts asking all those questions. That fires you up as a coach because you can tell like he's taking it in. He wants, you know, he wants the knowledge. He wants to, how do I get better? He doesn't talk about, hey, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. He just is focused kind of on the moment, which I've been really impressed with. I didn't really, you know, when I first got with him, I wasn't sure that was the direction, like that was going to be him. And it's turned out that's how he is.
Adam, one more on Quinnen. Where have you seen the biggest jump in year 2, and what do you think's next for him?
I think really his just knowledge of the game, kind of how teams, you know, attack defensive fronts in the run game and pass protection. I think him understanding all that is it helps you play faster. It helps you know, here's my counter to this. All right, hey, they're sliding to me. Here's what I got to do here. Or here's how I can help the guy next to me. Run game, you know, hey, they're doing these 3 things scheme-wise, but if they throw something else at him, he's seen it before. When you get in the NFL, it's like you get thrown a whole bunch of stuff where college, I mean, a lot of these guys, they've seen zone read. You know, they haven't seen a ton of pin and pull and gap schemes and 2-back offense and things like that. So, I mean, it's all brand new for them. And then when you get in year 2 and then all of a sudden you see these guys take these huge jumps and you're like, well, why did that happen? Well, they've seen more football. You know, that's why, I'll say it again, that's why off-season, preseason games, all those things matter, especially for young players. The older guys, not so much. They've seen all that stuff. It's more about, you know, war of attrition. Where young guys, they need to see things. They need to experience it. They need to feel it for them to get better with it.